Welcome to Meg's Motorcycle Journey, where we explore the world on two wheels. This channel will follow me on my journey to become a better rider and explore my love of all things motorcycles. So this is the second part of the group ride video that I posted last week. I organized a group ride. It was myself and 12 riders, and we went to High Rock, which is in Cascade, Maryland. And you can see that in the previous video that I posted. This video is us coming from High Rock to Blondie's. Blondie's is a restaurant. Actually, I think it's like a biker bar. I had never been to a biker bar. Even though I've been a biker for a while. So a bunch of people on the Harley Riders of Maryland page suggested it. And it is actually very close to High Rock. I think this was only about a 10 to 15 minute ride from High Rock to Blondie's. So this is us coming to Blondie's. But it's actually over the Pennsylvania line. So we rode in both Maryland and Pennsylvania that day. And this was like a ride down the mountain, and Blondie's was sort of at the bottom of the mountain. So that was kind of a fun little ride before we ate. And this is us getting ready to pull in. So we're here for a lunch stop at Blondie's, and a bunch of the people that were in the group came with us, and so I'll give you a review of it when we're done. So this is after we ate. There's me and the bikes before we all got ready to get back on the bikes, and the food was actually quite good. I had a crab pretzel and a bacon cheeseburger. I'm a big burger girl. I love me some bacon cheeseburgers. I mentioned in a previous episode that cheese is one of my favorite foods. So I'll pretty much eat any kind of cheese on any kind of meat, but a bacon cheeseburger is really high up on the list of things that I love. So I had one of those, and it was delicious. I wanted to have a beverage, but I tend not to do that, even one, when I ride, because I'm a lightweight. So it's just better for me to stay completely sober. This is me and the rest of the gang that was with us, getting ready to take off and head home. The plan was to stop and see several covered bridges. I have seen a number of them before, but this was the first time that I rode through any on a motorcycle. Unfortunately, my camera died before we get there, but the ride before that is still quite scenic. So I think you'll enjoy some of that footage. I, on this particular day, had dressed for the cold because when I left my house in the morning, it was probably high 40s. At this point, it was close to 70 degrees. So, as you can see, I unzipped my jacket because it is a pretty heavy jacket. Last year, I decided that I needed a really heavy riding jacket. So, that one has a liner and a nice pocket for a gun, which I haven't carried yet, but I have done everything to get my wear and carry permit, so maybe someday I'll use it. But it's a Milwaukee jacket, and it's a little big in the body part, but that actually is good for the winter because I can layer up underneath and I can wear my heated vest. So here's us taking off. This was a crazy little road. It was an incredibly steep uphill. You can't really tell from the video how steep the incline was on this hill. But it was definitely a climb, I'll say. We decided to stay near the back of the pack. In the first part of this, in the last video I posted that was part 1, I was in the front, and it didn't make for the coolest video because you didn't get to see everybody else in the group. So we decided to stay closer to the back. So this was a particularly tricky little turn because it was incredibly steep, and we needed to make a left. So we had some riders in our group that have not been riding for very long, and so I think there was some hesitation. So everybody was just waiting, and we were discussing whether we should try to help out or what we should do. So this actually, one of the riders did get nervous, and she stopped right there on the turn. I ended up pulling up ahead, and actually one of the guys in our group went to go help her. So cameraman assisted, and she pulled up in front and was A-okay. They rode her bike up over the ledge for her, and honestly, she was doing great. Having not ridden for very long, that was a tricky maneuver for a brand new rider, and she did a fantastic job throughout the entire ride, because this wasn't an easy ride. There was a lot of hills and curves and twists, and she did a really nice job holding her own. I think that she is right in front of me, or 2 in front of me, but she did a great job. She was riding a Sportster. I think it was an 883, an earlier model than the 883 that I used to have, which I've actually gotten a lot of comments about whether I miss my Sportster. And the truth is that I don't. I really prefer nearly everything about this bike. Now, that's not to say that if one day I decide to add another bike to my collection that I might not have fun on a Sportster, but I don't think I would want to go back to a Sportster as my only bike. The Lowrider S just outperforms it in almost every way, so I'm really happy with my trade, and right now I can't imagine liking another bike as much as I like this bike, because the change was just so dramatic for me the first time I tested it out. And I did purchase it at the Frederick, Maryland Harley. So I came for a test ride, and I test rode a bunch of bikes. I test rode the Softail Slim, the Street Bob, the Lowrider S, the Lowrider, and I think that might have been all. I did not test ride anything that had forward controls except the Slim, because I'm not very tall and I have trouble reaching the forward controls, and I just didn't feel all of that safe. And even on the Slim, which was a smaller bike, I didn't feel like I had as good control of the bike. So I did prefer all the bikes that had mid controls. So I never rode the Breakout or the Fat Bob or the Fat Boy, because the controls just felt so far forward, and the bike just felt really stretched out for somebody who was 5'2". But it was amazing, because after test riding all of those bikes, from the moment I got on this bike, I was like, this is the one. This is my new bike. And I was just smiling from ear to ear. And I have only grown to love her more since I've had her. I've also, I guess she's a her. It's a question I've gotten recently. Have I named my bike? And I know that most men consider their bike to be a her and name their bike a female name. But I'm not sure if my bike is a her or a him. And I haven't named my bike either. So weigh in on your opinion in the comments and let me know if you think my bike should be a male or female bike, and if you have any suggestions on what I should name it. That was another tricky intersection that, some of the newer riders struggled with. It's interesting because I can see myself when I first got my license in them. And it's amazing to see how far I've come in just a little over a year. Because I did get my license about a year and a half ago, but I didn't purchase my Sportster until the very end, I think August 30th of 2019. I rode my Sportster until May of this year. I put, I think, close to 3,000 miles when I traded it in. I think it was at 2,700 some. And now I've got almost 7,000 miles on this bike. So in a year and a month or two, I've rode close to 10,000 miles, probably between 9 and 10,000 miles. And my comfort level on the bike is just night and day. So it is really nice to be able to go on a ride and relax a bit more without having to constantly be worried about my safety and whether I'm making good decisions and my ability to control a powerful machine. Of course, I still have those moments. I think everybody does. I think even the best riders can certainly learn and improve all the time. A bunch of guys that I grew up with ride, and I ride with them fairly frequently, and they're all really skilled riders, and I learn a lot from all of them every time that I ride. But I know that a lot of them are still learning and feel that they can still pick up new things every time they get out on the road. So I have the same attitude about anything in life. But it is nice to feel a bit more relaxed than I used to feel, and a bit more at one with my bike, and to trust my bike, which is something that took me a little while to learn. So I am really excited because my new Sissy bar is coming. It should be here. I think the tracking said it'd be here in 2 days. So I cannot wait. It's a custom Sissy bar that I had designed to match the decal on my bike. So when that comes, I will do an installation video so you guys can check it out. It is getting chillier, but thankfully I have cold weather gear, heated stuff. I have a heated vest, as I mentioned before, which I love. So I plan to keep on riding and keep on taping and posting more videos for you guys. I'm learning a lot every time that I post a video, and that I edit a video. So hopefully you guys are seeing some improvement in my editing skills. It's not something I've done a lot of. As I mentioned before, I own a law firm and I own a car wash business. And I have done the majority of the marketing for the car wash business and a fair amount of marketing for my law firm. So that involves editing videos, posting and editing videos from time to time. But certainly nothing of the magnitude that is editing a decently long YouTube video. So I'm always open to suggestions. So if any of you are skilled editors and would like to offer me some suggestions, I'm open. Feel free to comment, reach out to me, DM me on Instagram, and we'll chat. I'd love that. I've also had the occasion this week to talk to a couple of other moto vloggers over Instagram message, and that's been really cool. I have been so pleasantly surprised by how welcoming everyone has been, how willing to help, offer suggestions. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be brought into a new group of people. There's a Facebook group that I got invited to. And so I really appreciate all the support and suggestions from my fellow moto vloggers. I am hoping to go and see Bill's Bike Barn, which is in Pennsylvania. I have gotten a lot of suggestions to go visit that, so I'm hoping to be able to do that in an upcoming video. I'm a little concerned about COVID and whether I'll be able to do that, but I'll keep you guys posted. Until then, thanks for following along. Appreciate all the support, likes, and comments that I'm getting. And don't forget to go ahead and like and subscribe. Until next time, ride safe.